Bring the meeting March 2nd to order and stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have roll call, please.
Counselor Knopfinger.
Here.
Counselor Bouchard. Here. Counselor Reynolds.
Here.
Mayor Burris.
Here.
Counselor Sandusky.
Here.
Counselor Christ.
Here.
Counselor Oxenreier.
All right, thank you. We have a proclamation that Sandusky said he would read tonight.
Proclamation about emergency management and citizen preparedness. Whereas the city of Tillamook recognizes its responsibility to protect the life, safety, health, and property of its residents, businesses, and visitors. And whereas the city of Tillamook Emergency Operations Plan establishes an all hazards framework for prevention, protection, mitigation, response, and recovery activities consistent with federal, state of Oregon, and Tillamook County emergency management policies. And whereas the city of Tillamook is subject to a variety of hazards, including but not limited to floods, winter storms, windstorms, landslides, earthquakes, tsunamis, hazardous materials incidents, wildfire, and utility failure. Whereas major emergencies may overwhelm the local response capabilities and may require residents to be self-sufficient for a minimum of 72 hours or longer. And whereas effective emergency management requires a whole community approach that includes government, businesses, faith-based organizations, nonprofit agencies, and individual households working together to enhance the preparedness and resilience. And whereas knowledgeable and prepared citizens significantly increase the community's ability to withstand and recover from disasters. Now, therefore, we, the mayor and city, now therefore, we, the mayor and council of the city of Tillamook, do hereby proclaim that number one, the city of Tillamook designates and affirms its commitment to promoting citizen preparedness within the city and surrounding areas. Number two, all residents are strongly encouraged to maintain an emergency supply kit sufficient for at least 72 hours. Develop and practice a household emergency communication and evacuation plan. Sign up for local emergency alert and notification systems. Mitigate hazards with their homes and within their homes and businesses. And prepare for the needs of children, seniors, individuals with access and functional needs, and household pets. Number three, local businesses are encouraged to develop continuity of operations plans to ensure the resilience of the local economy and essential services. Number four, community organizations, faith-based institutions, and volunteer groups are encouraged to partner with the city to expand preparedness education and training opportunities. Number five, the city emergency manager is directed to continue community outreach efforts, promote preparedness education, and support volunteer programs such as Tillamook Emergency Volunteer Corps, community emergency response teams, and other resilience initiatives. And number six, the city of Tillamook affirms its commitment to cooperation with the Tillamook County Emergency Management, Tillamook Emergency Volunteer Corps, the state of Oregon, and regional partners to strengthen preparedness and capabilities across jurisdictional boundaries. Let it be proclaimed that the city of Tillamook calls upon all citizens to take personal responsibility for preparedness and to participate in efforts that enhance the safety and resilience of our community. This resolution is approved and adopted by the City Council of the City of Tillamook on this second day of March 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Sandusky, for reading that out loud for us to hear. I read it and a lot of it resonates with me. And I want to thank the mayor and council for their support. And I want to be able to point out that to improve disaster preparedness, responsibility and planning is a part of our public safety goals that the council has set, maintain and or strengthen regional emergency planning partnerships. This helps to satisfy both of those, along with some of the folks here who are part of the Tillamook Emergency Volunteer Corps, which is a very small but mighty group that has a lot of energy going. And we're moving in the right direction. We collectively as a city and this volunteer group, this proclamation will help to continue our efforts in partnering with the county and with the state and other funding partners, because as the city manager is designated as our emergency operations, or excuse me, our emergency manager for the emergency operations stuff. It really takes all of us to be able to come together, specifically for the city of Tillamook, to be able to be ready and resilient, and then think about recovery. What does that look like? You're gonna be camping potentially for a couple weeks or longer, maybe a couple months. And so I'm excited about this. And I really do believe that it's a milestone for our city to be able to recognize this, so we can continue this energy and moving forward. And we just recently had an event at the library with Steve Everlin, and it was very well attended. And that was a preparedness event talking about all kinds of different stuff that you can do. And out of that, one of the regional state coordinators who has some, hopefully cross our fingers, will be some money available to us. They were really excited about what we got going on. Randy Thorpe County has seen what's going on. And so thank you to the emergency volunteer corps that is here. You guys have been good work. And I would then open up the questions if you have, if we have time. But that's our presentation on the proclamation.
A third grader after that meeting, you know, was out the mom brought a couple of pamphlets, the tsunami pamphlets up to school tonight, and sharing it with all the kids that were waiting for, so it was nice. It did like that, been pretty good. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Could you ask the volunteers to wave so we can see which one?
You bet. You'd like to introduce?
Okay, well, go ahead. What am I supposed to say? I'm Ivy Reynolds. And I'm Trey West.
Thank you.
And Chris has been a part of the organization. Has been a part of the organization as well, and she's a great support and advocate for us, and a good person for us to be able to check in with on the different projects, so great support.
Well, thank you, ladies.
Yeah, thank you. Alright. Okay, next we have our public comment section. Any person may address the council after being recognized by myself. However, topics which are under appeal or legal in nature cannot be addressed. Please state your name and address for the record. Time is limited to 3 minutes per person. Anybody? Not a chance. On agenda? Not on agenda. No? We have anybody online?
We do. She's here for a presentation.
Great, okay, perfect. All right. Nothing there. We'll move to our presentation. Regional Economic Development Program of Columbia Pacific Economic Development District. Hold that. Are you there, Sarah?
I am. Hi, good evening. Thanks for having me.
All right,
Okay.
thank you. It's all
Sounds
yours.
okay, great. Chelsea, are you able to pull up that presentation?
I am.
Awesome. While she does that, I'll just share my appreciation for having me tonight and having a virtual option. We do cover a wide area of territory, and I reside in Astoria. So while I'll even be in Tillamook later this week, it is nice to have a virtual option after dark. So as I mentioned, I am Sarah Lou. My last name is Heath. I'm the executive director of the Columbia Pacific Economic Development District. I think it's pretty obvious why we go by COLPAC. Um, just want to give you a little bit of background about what we do and some of our projects and programs that we have. We do work with the city on a couple of items, and unfortunately, I got a voicemail that City Manager Lewis wasn't available to be there, but we've been working on some stuff with him. Um, and is that presentation up? I don't see it on my screen. It was there for a second, but
Yeah, I had it sharing, but it wasn't showing up on a big screen, so I'm gonna move it over so that the audience can see it. And then I'm gonna share it again so you can see it.
oh, great.
Okay,
Because I could probably rattle off everything that's on there, but getting it in
I
the
bet
right
you
order
could.
might be tricky. And while she does that, I'll just share some background of the organization. We were founded in the mid 90s, and the Economic Development Administration is I'm sorry, Economic Development District is a designation that's provided by the EDA, the Economic Development Administration at the federal level. And we serve 3.5 counties in far northwest Oregon. That's Columbia, Clatsop, Tillamook, and Western Washington County, which is just about from where the highway fell in all the way to the county line. And I cannot see that presentation, but I think we should be on the third slide.
Okay, give me just one more second. Let me try one more thing. Can you see it now? Sarah?
That's fantastic. Yes.
Okay.
And so if we can just hop to the third slide, this is an overview of the programs that we have. And that includes grant writing and administration. And so, for example, right now we're working with the city of Tillamook, drafting and you will submit, since you will be the applicant, but drafting the disaster emergency funding. We've been working with City Manager Lewis and your project manager Adam on that application for the commercial side of your water line project. We also have a revolving loan fund for small businesses. In 3 of our counties, we're working on the commercial property assessed clean energy, which we hope Tillamook County will also pass ordinances to allow y'all to do. I'll tell you a little bit about that. Our Brownfield Redevelopment Program, the Northwest Transit Alliance, and then the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy. And we can go to the next slide. And so not only do we help people write grants and do grant discovery, oftentimes folks will come to us and say, this is our project, and can you help us find what grants might be a good match? We can do that for folks, and we also administer grants because part of our mission is to provide flexible capacity to our rural region. And so one of the programs that we often manage for municipalities is the Community Development Block Grant. And this can do infrastructure. It can also help with food pantries, senior centers. It's funds that are passed from HUD through the state, and then that funding is offered to folks on a competitive basis. And Oregon just has a lot of reporting and regulation around these funds. And so we can step in and help with that administration, the reporting, making sure all of the federal crosscutters are met, just to make it a little easier for communities to access these funds. And we'll go to the next slide, which is our small business revolving loan fund. So we work closely with a lot of our commercial banks and even Craft 3, who's a non-traditional lender, and we can help small businesses and even municipalities. For example, we've loaned to Garibaldi and the Port of Nehalem to do a number of things like purchasing equipment and machinery, working capital, even business acquisition, and real estate. So we can lend up to $200,000. And as I mentioned, we work with traditional banks. So when a business might be a startup or is not yet bankable, we can come in early and get those businesses the opportunities they need so they get into the regular commercial banking system. And I wanted to mention CPACE, even though this has not been adopted in Tillamook County, I think it's a really fantastic tool, and even know of a couple projects that are interested in your area that could be really helpful. It is passed by the county, and then all of the cities can access this program. And this is a highly flexible financing tool, and it is for commercial properties. So that's your traditional commercial properties, also industrial. And really one of the reasons that we were looking at it as a tool to bring to the region is to use it for multifamily housing. And so this is all private funding. This program allows private investors to match with projects that use energy efficient and clean energy materials and systems in either a big rehab of a building or development of a new construction project. So what's really nice about this is a nationwide program that was adopted by Oregon, I believe in 2017. And what's really nice is building code in Oregon is already so progressive that most of the any of the eligible avenues for this funding are included in that building code. So that can be water conservation, renewable energy, even seismic upgrades. And so this allows a non-traditional financing to come in, and it can provide up to 30% of the total redevelopment or construction costs, and it can cover 100% of the energy related aspects. So we are talking with the county on having this adopted. We did that with Clatsop and Tillamook counties in 2025, and we hope that Tillamook County will look at it this year. We also have administered the Northwest Oregon Transit Alliance since its inception in 2011. This is a group of 5 different county-based transit agencies, and so it covers the counties that we're in. Columbia, Clatsop, Tillamook, also includes Lincoln County and Benton County. This was conceived through a Department of Energy, a U.S. Department of Energy grant for efficiencies and lower carbon emissions. So the Transit Alliance as a whole provides coast to valley and valley to coast transit opportunities in a connected seamless service. So if you are going from Tillamook to Cannon Beach in another part of the state, you might have to switch buses, pay another fare, look up another route, etc. In our system, you can get one fare from Tillamook all the way up to Astoria. And we've done a lot of great projects with this group, from purchasing sanitation supplies as a whole to get discounts. We recently did a zero emissions transition study with all 5 agencies, and this year we're going to embark on a full redesign of our website to bring that kind of into the future. And we are building on this program with a new opportunity for us, at least, through ODOT. That's called Transportation Options, and we are launching this program now. We actually have a request for qualified entities out there right now to help us with this program. The goal is to promote commute options like van pooling, carpooling, transit, bike ped. And really, some of the things that we're excited about this is around walkability, is around helping with congestion, seasonality, and then doing construction mitigation outreach. I know it was very challenging, and I see that Justin's in the room tonight, really challenging for downtown businesses when ODOT redesigned all of downtown Tillamook, which is beautiful now, but was really I think a challenge for a lot of those Main Street businesses while that construction is going on. So on a project by project basis, we can help with communication, signage, things like that. So we're just getting started here, but expect to see more from us in your area on this in the coming months. And also wanted to mention our Brownfield redevelopment program. This is something, and I see a piece of information is missing on this slide. Back in 2021, Colpack applied for 3 different grants through the EPA for brownfield redevelopment. One of them went to Clatsop County for $500,000, but also the Tillamook County Brownfield program also receive $500,000 from grants that we wrote on their behalf that have been used across Tillamook County. We also have our Brownfield Revolving Loan Fund. And so brownfields are any commercial industrial property whose redevelopment is being hampered by real or perceived contamination. And so these assessment funds can be used to do a number of things. Your traditional environmental assessment, whether that's hazardous building materials like lead and asbestos, or whether you're looking at possible groundwater contamination or vapor intrusion. A lot of times when a large property needs to change hands, part of your due diligence is going to involve ensuring that there won't be any environmental liability coming up once you purchase that property. So just last year, Colpack acquired another $1.2 million to work on this. And that funding will go across the region, all 3.5 counties, so we can supplement the work that Tillamook County has available. If the city has something that the county doesn't think fits their goals, we'd be certainly interested in hearing about those projects and partnering with landowners in that way. And then the last two things that I wanted to mention are related. And so this is the Comprehensive Economic Development Strategy, which we call the CEDS. Developing this strategy and kind of being the owners of it is one of our requirements for the EDA as an economic development district. And so every 5 years, we do a deep dive into our development strategy for the region. That's everything from updating demographic information to looking at economic trends. We have workshops in every county, folks like yourselves at Tillamook City, large businesses, other of our nonprofit partners are all invited for an in-person SWOT analysis. And we develop an implementation plan to meet our goals, which I'll outline on the next slide. And so the CEDS goals are modern and adequate infrastructure, regional collaboration, supporting businesses. That is everything from your mom and pop retail business to your fishermen to large businesses like the creamery. Resiliency, not only in emergency management, as was spoken about earlier, but also economic shocks with resiliency, whether that be COVID or tariffs. We look at how to ensure that businesses can be nimble and flexible. We also work on workforce development and transportation, as I mentioned. So what you're looking at here is some of the work that we have done across the region in the last 5 years. There are not any multipliers on this. Sometimes you'll see a study that says, we put in $1,000 into this project, and if you look at that impact, times 2.2, which is the economic multiplier, this is just straight real dollars that have been invested in our community in the last 5 years that Colpack has led. And I know that was a lot of information really fast, but I have only been in this position for a little less than a year. And while I have met some of you, I just wanted to share this information with the whole council and, definitely open it up for any questions that you might have, or if you have a project or a partner that might benefit from one of our programs, we always appreciate a good referral.
Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions or comments? Thanks again, Sam. Thanks, man, for that. Yeah.
Well,
Have a good night.
thanks.
All right. Next, we have a public hearing. So we will open public hearing on the vacation of Trout Street, part of Trout Street. Purpose of this hearing is to provide the public with an opportunity to submit testimony concerning this. We'll begin the order of business with staff report followed by public testimony.
Hello, good
You're up.
Megan Carpenter, city planner from the city of Tillamook. You have your staff report in the packet with the maps. If you could put up the map, Chelsea, the zoning map, which shows the area that we're talking about, and then we'll switch over to the plat map so they can see what actual sections you vacated. So the city received a partial, street vacation request for Trout Street in Tillamook. For those of you that don't know where Trout Street is, we're both there on that.
We are.
It's just east of Farrell Gas, they're on Third Street across from Lumber Mill.
We're gonna do it my way.
Okay. It's an unmarked street, so that's why I said people may not know that's actually Trout Street. It's an unimproved street, it's gravel right now, it's never been improved. It's a dead end street that we don't plan to create any through space through there, there's too much patrol on the other side to do any kind of connection to Highway 6. The transportation system plan doesn't even call for anything for future, so, the section that's going to be vacated, I don't know if you can see it on this map. There's a 20-foot section, right now currently it's on the street, and it's 60-foot wide, which is standard. Under the design standards, you can go to a 40-foot street and still leave enough room for curbs on both sides and street improvements. So we wanted to keep the street because we plan on putting a main line down through that street that will go off to Highway 6 eventually, once we get money. Obviously, that's the issue. But we do want to leave that available. So we do want to vacate the whole street. And the reason why we're asking for the vacation is because when the applicant came to us in a pre-application, we noticed that, we can throw up the zoning map on there. And you can see from that house that's sitting here now, this was built in the early 1900s. And this house, when it was built, if we were to keep it right now, they would lose part of their porch, their driveway, or their garage. If we were to go and put sidewalks in. So we're requesting a 20-foot that will bring it out, still be in the design standards, as far as getting improvements down through there. And that will go all the way back to the dead end. That will then be portioned into the 2 lots there. There's a front lot and a rear lot. Then those properties will just assume that 20 feet and pay taxes on that now, instead of it being public right away. Once that's done, we can deal with some of the property line adjustments that need to be there. And in the future, the property owner to the rear plans on making a single family home and an ADU back there. With some mitigation efforts, because obviously that's on that side of town with the sewer, so that'll be worth it later date. But this gets the ball rolling, gets the survey back in line with the property where it should be. And still keeping the street for us so that we can do our sewer infrastructure there.
Anybody have any questions for Maggie? Straightforward. Yeah, exactly.
When you do these kinds of things, like you talk to the property owner, right?
Oh, yes, it was all public notice, so in your packet, you'll notice the public notice went out, we noticed in the paper for almost a month. That this is happening, and then all the property owners, and also the signatures of all property owners affected are in your packet as well.
Okay, great.
Thank
Thank you. All right, next is public testimony. Any interested person may present testimony for or against. If you wish to speak, I will recognize you. Any questions should be addressed through me. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address for the record, as this meeting is taped. Anybody here want to say anything? By chance? If not, we will move on. Did we have any correspondence at all? Right? No? All right. Last chance. If anyone want to speak? All right, hearing none, I will close the public hearing. We'll move to new business, which is a request. First item is the request to reappoint Jamie Rhodes to Planning Commission for the remainder of her unexpired term beginning March 1st, ending February 28th, 2029.
Hello, the city council, Jamie Rhodes, 710 Manor Place. And I'm happy to be here tonight to submit my application to rejoin the planning commission.
Thank you. It's a lot of work. Anybody have any questions or anything? Yeah. Anybody make a motion?
I move we reappoint Jamie Rhodes to the planning commission for the remainder of her unexpired term. March 1st, 2026, February 28th, 2029.
What's that? Noted second, any other discussion? Yeah. All right, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes by the council, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alright. Next will be ordinance number 032026, request to hold first reading of an ordinance vacating a portion of Trout Street in the city of Tillamook, first reading.
You wanna read it? That was the ones. From the public hearing, this.
Correct.
Yes. Are you voting
Aye.
on? Holding the
Oh,
first
wait,
reading?
oh, yeah, you're right.
Okay, I'll make a motion on this. I move that we approve ordinance, that we may, I'm sorry, I approve, one day. Okay, I move that we hold the first reading on ordinance number 032026. Vacating a portion of Trout Street, first reading by title only.
Second.
Second.
Alright, moving second, now it's time for discussion, anybody have anything?
I withdraw, I have the vote.
Any good?
Call for the question.
Questions called, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Alright, motion passes now, could you read the
Yes.
by title only, please?
Ordinance number 030226. An ordinance providing for the partial street vacation of the westerly 20 feet portion of Trout Street between Third Street and Highway 6. Located between Block 7 and Block 8 of Goodspeed, Second Edition, Tillamook, County, Oregon.
Thank you. Now, we'll move to,
Second reading will take place.
next
Next time.
the next meeting, or is it, how long do we have?
It'll be on the agenda for the 16th.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Resolution number R 030226, request to approve a resolution ratifying and confirming an IGA with the Port of Tillamook Bay for the water transmission line replacement project.
This is just the request, it's already been signed by the city manager, it needs to be approved by you guys. This is just an agreement with the port, so when we start the water line, that they're in agreement to work with us, with all the contractors and all that stuff, that project.
Any questions on this?
I make the motion to approve resolution number R 030226.
Okay. Further discussion,
Question.
questions called, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Alright, motion passes unanimously by the council seated, and now we need an adoption motion. Or is it all in one, is that all
It's all
approved adoptions in one?
Correct.
Just making sure.
Yep.
Okay. Alright. Next resolution. 30226A, request to approve a resolution authorizing the bank signature authority for the city of Tillamook financial accounts.
This is to add Justin and Hope on to the signing authority.
And Dean.
Oh, Dean was on the last one, so now this is redoing that other one we did 2 weeks ago, because we have the two more people. Yes,
Yeah,
no, you're already on the other one, this is just adding the two newest council members, the bank will be here before the next meeting, and she's bringing the paperwork with her, so you guys don't have to go there, so.
Sure.
I'll try to get here like 5 minutes before, so we can get the paperwork done. Yes,
I will not be at the next meeting.
oh, that's right,
You'll be
They
making
have
a
it
trip.
ready Friday before I can stop by and sign it or
I
something.
can have it to her tomorrow, and hopefully by Wednesday you can sign it this week, okay?
Just send me a note when it's ready.
I will, thank you.
I move that we approve a resolution authorizing bank signature authority of the city of Tillamook financial accounts, resolution number R 030226A.
Second.
okay, moving in second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Alright. Motion passes by the council. Steve, alright, so I have nothing tonight, we have one more. Did I miss one? No, we still need to.
All right, now. We good?
Yeah, thank you guys. I've missed them in the past. Thank you. All right.
Mayor.
Oh, yeah.
Counselor Noxinger pointed out to me that I had the ordinance number incorrect on the agenda. I just wanted to make sure it's on the record, but I will, the number should be ordinance number 030226.
Number 2.
Yeah,
Uh,
so I'll make that correction in the minutes and then
Got it.
we'll, be
Okay.
correct on the next agenda.
Thank you. All right, city manager. Report, do you have anything
I
for
got
me?
lots of stuff here, all right, you guys ready? All right, so Representative Susan Bonamici is going to be doing a town hall March 14th from 10:30 to 11. It's gonna be elected officials only from 10:30 to 11 at the Tillamook High School in the choir rehearsal room. At 11 o'clock, it's open to the public. There's a tsunami workshop April 1st from 6 to 7:30. The county emergency manager has requested at least one official attend on April 1st, so if somebody has hope or anybody wants to join, that'd be great, let us know. Bad news, we have a water leak. It's been discovered underneath the lines, the runway. Sean, you wanna touch on this? You talked to the engineer today.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big project and it's the line that we're actually replacing that is leaking. So,
Yeah. So last Friday, we got a call from a port saying there's water coming up through the tarmac, so we went out and investigated, and sure enough, there is. So what we're doing right now is this week is, we're trying to do all the groundwork we can, try to pinpoint exactly where that leak is. Because anytime you cut the tarmac out there, you really close it down, the airport, in your traffic. And also it has to be rebuilt to a certain standard specification, so it's very expensive. It's also a very deep and complicated excavation because when the Navy ran the water lines underneath the airstrip, they're really deep down through there. So it's worth our time, energy and effort to really narrow down exactly where that water is coming up out of the main line. So we'll be doing that next week using correlators and a consultant that is pretty familiar with chemical those leaks. And then we'll put it up and see what we can do. The bummer is obviously is we're going into construction to build new water lines, so unfortunately we'll be spending probably a good chunk of money on this repair. But I think if we do our homework, I know if we do our homework, we should be able to cut that cost down to as small as possible. So that's kind of where we're at, that timing, that spot.
yeah.
Thank you.
Also our AI chat bot, the polymorphic, that's gonna be on our website is going live. So I believe tomorrow we're going live with that. Do you wanna pull that up so we can play with it, so you guys can kind of see what it's going to do? So when people go to our website, they can ask it any question that's on our website and it will answer it, whether it's planning questions, whether it's ordinances, business registrations, it'll pull anything from our website and direct them by giving them forms or where they need to go.
Just do it my way again.
It's okay. All right, so let's ask. How do we build a fence? What do we need to build a fence?
Okay,
I get a water line instead of a fence.
right? My yard. It's also really gracious with grammar. and,
Absolutely. So it kind of lists everything that you're gonna need, talks about what's in our ordinances, what's in our code and everything, kind of walks people through the whole process. And if you just scroll down, a lot of times they'll have like form attached or what permits and stuff are required. Yeah.
It goes right to the code.
It's pretty cool, and I was asking all sorts of questions today, and it was actually coming up with some pretty good answers, and I was being really creative. Even like so one of the questions I asked, which is a lot for you to type, I just said, do I need a business license to have a, like a bread shed in my yard? Or you can word it as, I said bread shed, but it was amazing how it actually popped up.
A bread.
Shed. Mm-hmm.
My yard.
Yep. And it pulls up, I mean, it's just odd, you know, that it would know that you gotta pull up a business license and all that stuff for it. So it's just kind of interesting. It's gonna be very helpful to the public to be able to go in here and get this information. Sources for, yep, find it. But that should be going live tomorrow, and that will be a link on our website. And that's all I have.
All right. Let's do approval of minutes first, actually. So, anyone want to go over the minutes of February 7th? You were not here. You were not. Anybody who was? We'll make a motion.
I move that we approve the minutes for Monday, February 2nd, 2026.
Second.
Alright, any other questions, comments? Not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Alright, opposed? Passes to approve the minutes. Now we have a council comment section, start on the left, this time Justin, you're first. Nothing personal. Okay, well, second, that one. Keith?
All good.
Okay,
Like people to know that, the spring term is gonna start registration at the college tomorrow or the week. And there's a wonderful choice of all kinds of classes that you could take. I myself will be teaching, US history in the modern period and history of the Holocaust. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
I'd just like to commend the community and the high school for this year's amazing charity drive with record-breaking funds and out of that, how you can raise $26,000 a day is just, it's
crazy.
It's nuts.
I should make a comment on that. My daughter is a senior and she was very, very proud that they broke a whole bunch of records, hit 100.
Three, I think.
Yeah.
103,000.
Yeah, like 4 for 4, really sweet, refresh myself from junior and senior, so good job.
Last time that was done, this class of 2017.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Sorry to interrupt, but
It's okay, that was my class too, so. Yeah, that's it for me.
I had a quick question for you, Sean, actually, just based on your recent comment. In relation to the leak at the tarmac, I remember last meeting, you said that we didn't have any more funds for potential repairs or things like that. So what is the status when we need to repair this? And do we have any idea where we're gonna get that from, or?
Good question. So this is water, this is a potable water, so it's different. The sewer system is the one that we're tapped out on. So, yeah, just different utilities, but valid question.
I don't have anything this week. And with that, I move that we authorize to pay the bills.
moved and seconded to pay the bills. Please pull the council.
Yes, Counselor Knopfinger,
Aye.
Counselor Bouchard,
Aye.
Counselor Reynolds,
Aye.
Counselor Sandusky,
Aye.
Counselor Christ.
Yep.
Counselor Ockmeyer.
Motion passed by the council seat. That we will adjourn. Thank you, everybody.